Alright, here we go. We got a big box here. Big one. The shipping costs a little bit from Japan. That worried me a bit. Because I was like, what am I getting? When shipping goes that expensive, you know it's a big box. Anyhow, this comes from Hobby Link Japan. It's something I've been waiting on to come into stock for a long time. Nothing too crazy. But something I knew was coming. And it figures there's lots of packing in there, because they didn't quite fill the box with them. Oh, my grandmother would love the packing. First thing up, not grandmother, mother-in-law. First thing up on the top, Great Mazinger. We took a look at Mazinger Z from a little while ago. This is the Great Mazinger kit. Ooh, I'm off camera. There we go. We'll take a look at inside the box in a little bit, one thing at a time. We have these guys, and I didn't know they were pre-built. Okay? The Tokyo Tower. Now, these are they're 1 2500 scale. And I have some 1 2500 scale Star Trek ships. So I thought, hey, let's get a couple of these since they're only a couple of bucks each. And I can put some ships over them. And I need to look at the Bandai Star Destroyer, but I think it's pretty similar in scale too. Which means these will go good with some Bandai Star Destroyers. And I got 4 of these. Like this one right here would be great with a Bandai Star Destroyer. I'll do a close-up of them in a minute. I actually got 4. I also got one of my favorite castles from Japan. Most of you should recognize that if you looked at any of my really old videos. Speaking of really old videos, this one would come as no surprise to anyone that I got this. Arashima released the new Godzilla kit. Mecha Godzilla, first one out in a while. This is from the newer movies instead of the older ones. We're going to take a look at what's in the box in a second. I got to get organized and get some room, because the camera angle I got right now is too awkward for me. Alright, up first, we're going to look at the building sets. Geocraper, I think it says. That's what it looks like it says. This is one of the basic units. And again, the scale on it's 1, you can see it right there, 1 2500. And if it's the same scale as the Star Destroyer, that would be fun. I'm not sure the scale of the Star Destroyer. I should have looked it up before the video. But it wouldn't surprise me if it is. And you can see why that would be fun. Because you could just build that sitting right over the top of the city. That was my idea with that one anyhow. And I probably will do that. It gives me an excuse to build this little guy. Okay? And I don't want to take it out of the box. It's safer in the box for right now. But you can get a look at the detail through that box. The castle, I will go ahead and open the box. It's sealed. Now that's weird. Things from Japan typically are not sealed. That means someone might be misbehaving with this thing. Excuse my reach across the camera. But we'll open this one. And it's tiny. Well, on that scale it should be. I didn't realize they were pre-painted, but it makes sense. I built a model of this at one time. The rocks are done well. Of course, the camera don't want to focus. There we go. The rocks are done well. The base. The temple could use a little bit of work. It looks a little funny in places. But it's not too bad. The one thing about the temple is it also has some outbuildings over here. So, it is not 100% accurate, but that's okay. Edo Castle, that's that one. That's what I ought to build, one of those castle models I have. Got a whole bunch of them. But there's Edo Castle. And we got 2 more of these. We have this one. This is the one I'd put a Star Trek ship floating over. Okay. And it shows that you can connect them to each other, and this is the high-rise building there, and this is that city block there, I can put Tokyo Tower with it. Okay. Now, this one might be good with the Star Trek ship hovering over it too, and I didn't realize how big that was. But now we can see how big it is. So here's these little building sets. I found out about them about a year ago. Haven't been able to find them until they showed up on HobbyLink Japan, and they're good little add-ons when I'm shipping something from there, and if they're not going to change the shipping cost, I'm going to get a few. Because I think they're kind of cool. Anyhow, having said that, let's take a look at this one next. Great Mazinger. The box art does not disappoint. It's a high-grade kit, which means 1/144 scale. Okay. And it's big compared to a Gundam. So these guys were much bigger than Gundams. Taking a look in the box, they've got a good finish on the parts, which means painting it might be worthless. The reason I say that, if you paint it, you might not get as good a finish as that's already there. And it comes with the big wing on the back, one clear spot part, actually a couple of clear parts. Sticker alert, right there. Bag of hands and more arm parts. Oh, that's the foot part right there. Now, that could work for some detail painting. A little bit of detail painting on a kit like this and it'll look good, and you wouldn't really have to do too much painting. That sword needs some work though. I wouldn't leave it that way. Bandai is good with their model kits. Horrible with the accessories. I mean, outright horrible with the accessories. He apparently has 2 swords. And more of the flying backpack. The wings on the backpack. Shoulder pieces. And here's the stand and a whole lot of clear. But I think most of that clear is stand, to be honest with you. There's some ladders, but the ladders don't make sense unless we look at the directions. The Great Mazinger. Now let's tell a story behind this. Why do I like the Mazinger so much? And Great Mazinger. And there's one more that Bandai made a long time ago that I have and I've thought about opening. This one. Raideen. When I was a kid, I think it was 6th grade, 7th grade, we went into Target, and in the toy section were Shogun Warriors. And I wanted them so bad. And I remember dragging one over to Mom, and it was about half my size, and she just looked down and went, no. And I vowed at that time, I'm getting one time in my life, and I have the Shogun Warrior. Great Mazinger now. No, it's Mazinger Z. It's not Great Mazinger. Now, looking at this is your typical straightforward assembly that you would have from any Gundam or the Star Wars figure kits. Very straightforward, same kind of assembly. The scram dash and lots of clear parts for this thing. The backpack comes on and off. You can mount him flying. His finger pointing up. Now, one thing about his finger pointing up, he usually had lightning come to that. You got the 2 swords. The swords, I would repaint them in some sort of metallic finish, because they're just dull silver. But with a little bit of detail painting and a little bit extra painting here and there, this kit could look really, really nice, in my opinion. And the little jet the guy flies in who pilots this is separatable from the head. About time Bandai did a good kit of this, and I'm happy to see it. I'm pretty sure it's there because there's a new series out on this, and they figured they could sell some with the new series. Because the disappointment I see are stickers. Why stickers, Bandai? Well, anyhow, there's Mazinger Z. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, everyone, I love some Godzilla. Most people know that. I have watched almost every Godzilla movie multiple times, and within the last couple of years. Part of that is I have a daughter who loves herself some Godzilla. It's kind of calmed down as she's gotten older. I think it was more because it was something we did together. But now she's getting very girly and would rather watch My Little Pony. But, you know, that's the way it is. She's still going to have a fondness for Godzilla in her heart all of her life, though, because she'll remember those times with Daddy. Now, this guy, I've not done an Hiroshima model before. I have a few here and there. I have the police spinner and a ship model and a few other things. Let's see what this one looks like on the inside. It's a big, big box. And I suspect this one's going to require a lot of painting. Oh yeah, I can tell already. That silver would never work. Okay? That silver just is not going to work. It's more of an aluminum color than this, and the metallic aluminum from All-Clad, yeah, I'm going to have to buy a box of a couple of bottles of the All-Clad silver, I mean aluminum. But the All-Clad aluminum looks like this. And when I put them together, that All-Clad aluminum just looks better. Okay, it's got more of a metallic sheen to it. So I'm going to be, if I do this kit, lots and lots of painting. No doubt of that. Lots and lots of painting to finish this one up. And I'm going to build it. It's just a matter of probably 4 or 5 years when my youngest daughter is in school. It's probably when that will finally get to start. So there's that. Here's part of the feet. It looks like it has a complete inner frame and the armor bolts to it. And this is going to take a lot of detail painting to bring out those inner details. More frame parts. Now the backpack, the weapons backpack is here. It's molded in color as well, but that color might be okay to me, but again, this silver just is not. And I can't be surprised by this. You wouldn't want it metallic silver, you wouldn't want it chrome, because it wasn't chromed. It's silver. It's aluminum. It's something along those colors. So, yeah, this is going to take a lot of paint. More inner frame parts. This guy isn't going to build up too small. You can tell already because the feet were back here a little bit ago. There's the feet. He's not too small. Okay. And more inner frame parts. I see a box coming up, and that's got me intrigued. Oh, got some loose parts in there. More body parts. There's a body part. Joint parts. And more armor parts. And we have some... There is decals in there. Water slides, yes. And I don't know why there's a separate frame in there, and I don't know what's inside there. Let's look and see what's inside there. Now, box, I'm wondering if it's a spacer or if there's something else in there. That's just a protection card to keep it from getting crushed. Oh, the box is sealed. There's something in it. Let me find a knife and open this without destroying my fingertips. Yeah, nippers. They work. Rubber parts. It has rubber parts. That's what's in this box. These are all rubber. The hands. Some clear parts. And more rubber. Well, that's a nice touch. Actual rubber in there, or silicone, or whatever it is. That's a nice touch. That will give that some character and flexibility with that character. And sometimes there's electronics in these kind of boxes. You never know. Comes with a poster. I like that too. With probably a decal guide, if I had to guess, painting guide. Okay. So it is a painting guide. And we have the directions. All right, let me move the box And of course, parts have to slide down in the way when I move the box. Because there's a lot of parts to this kit. Awful lot. Color directions. That is always fun to have. Let me move a camera a little bit down. And then I can do this. There. So we have color directions. Front, rear. I'm pretty sure that tail probably moves a little bit. We have assembly, and the first thing you do is build the head. And that'll be fun because you're going to paint those parts first. But the good part is it doesn't look like anything's going to rub against each other. So you don't have to worry about that issue. Plus, if I keep the paint color pretty close to the base plastic, it'll be fine. And I know some of you are like, but what about primer? Sometimes I primer, sometimes I don't. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm using all-clad paints, bare plastic, they're going to stick to bare plastic just fine because they're lacquer. They eat into the plastic a little bit. And then you build the body. There's lots and lots of parts on this thing. Wow. I wonder how many parts are in this thing. I'm not going to count, but there's well over a couple of hundred. We got thrusters, and I could paint some of these slightly different colors. Like those thrusters should be a different color. Okay? And then the feet go together. And it looks like he is jointed. Now, I don't know about Hiroshima and their jointed models. I know Bandai, if it was jointed, it'd be fine. Yes, the tail is movable. If you notice, right here, it's telling you the tail is movable. Because you build that tail in segments, and a lot of little segments. Wow. That's just crazy. And then the weapon backpack with more thrusters. And there's the sprue layout. Been waiting for this one for a while. Came in. I don't know when I'm going to get to build it, honestly, because the only thing I'm really able to work on right now is small, short projects. I am getting some stuff done. I'm halfway through a Batmobile at the moment, which is awesome. It was a pre-paint, but the interior was not pre-painted, so it's not a full pre-paint. And I'm having to paint the interior, but what's awesome about it is I haven't brush painted anything in a very long time. And I'm doing the whole thing with brush painting simply because I haven't done that in a long time. And I'm finding that quite enjoyable. Okay. For example, here's the door frames. Okay. Yes, I'm leaving the bare black plastic black. But I'm having some fun with it. And there's the fire extinguisher and one of the shift handles. So I am having some fun with it, and it's progressing fairly well, actually. I just have to do decal work, and then the interior's done. And once the interior's done, that goes together really, really quick, because it's pre-painted, the body shell is anyhow. So is Batman and Robin. Alright, there's a look at the Mecha Godzilla kit. From Hiroshima. It looks like it's going to be a really good kit, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of work to look correct. And I need to see the scale on it. It doesn't say on the box. I've heard the scale is like 1/250 or 1/350. And I don't know if I'd recognize the scale on this if I saw it. On the side, there is some English on it, but I can't see. I'm getting old. Let me read this and see what it says in English. This is assembly model kit, blah, 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 blah. No scale given. It says no liquid cement needed, but you need tweezers, nippers, and cutter. And I don't see a scale anywhere on this. I want a t-shirt with that. I know where to find that t-shirt, so no one needs to send me a link. And there's a parts layout. The rocket nozzles pop out. The body panel opens. He fired a freeze ray out of the body panel. And yeah, it's going to need some paint to look right. There's no way around it. And that's what will slow me down on this guy. Maybe a little bit here and there. Maybe I should approach it that way. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed. Before I ever touch him, I will probably touch that Star Destroyer in this. And I have some ideas on lighting that Star Destroyer up, although I don't think I could light these buildings up very easily at all. I'll have to look. Actually, let's open this one. Let's take a look. I tore the box. Tore the box really badly. That's okay. Oh, this is 3 separate pieces. And I don't want to break it. You don't want to come out. This is what happens when you do things live on camera. Oh boy. The buildings do come off. And they are hollow. So you could drill out some of those windows. That would be interesting, and put an LED in the bottom of it. So you could. I don't know if these are hollow. Let's take a look at the apartment buildings. No, they're not hollow, but they are on there. And it might be possible to do a little bit of lighting with them. The other thing you could do, quite honestly, is you can paint them with glow-in-the-dark paint, and then use glow-in-the-dark paint to light them with. I've seen people do that, and it would be real easy to do that with this. Okay, I'm going to quit doing that on camera because I'm just going to break it. I will talk to you all later. Hope you enjoyed. I couldn't wait. I got them out of the box. They have these connector pins underneath, so you can connect them together. And there's lots of different type tiles. Now, the Edo Castle doesn't come with any of those connectors. Okay? But if I could find the piece of the same size, actually, no, it doesn't even connect. There's nothing for it to go in there with, so it's a separate piece. The phone's ringing. I gotta go. I know who that is. It's the boss. I will talk to you all later.